Little Last Words by New York Times and USA Today best-selling author Cheryl Bradshaw. Let every man remember that to violate the law is to trample on the blood of his father, and to tear the character of his own and his children's liberty. Abraham Lincoln. Chapter 1. Penelope Barlow leaned back in the driver's seat, her thoughts drifting to the events that had taken place over the last several weeks of her life. It had been almost a month since she'd moved back to the seaside town of Cambria, California. After spending the last 6 years in a verbally abusive relationship, she'd packed some bags, waiting for the night she'd find the courage to leave Dean for good. Courage came at long last, when Dean accused Penelope of smiling at another man while they were out for dinner. After they returned home, he'd hit her for the first time, striking her so hard across the face it sent her hurtling onto the wall. She'd slumped to the ground, curling into a ball as she waited for subsequent blows to come, even though they didn't. He spent the next hour apologizing, but it was too late. In that moment, she'd realized it was time for the hell she'd been living through to be over. She waited for Dean to fall asleep, and then tiptoed her way to her 5-year-old daughter's room to play a secret game they'd been practicing. The game was simple. All Sadie had to do was follow Mommy out of the house without making a peep. If she made it inside Mommy's car without waking Daddy, Sadie would be rewarded with 2 scoops of ice cream the next day. That night, mother and daughter fled toward a fresh start in a familiar town, the same town where Penelope had been raised. Family and friends welcomed them with open arms, ready and willing to offer their help and support. Life was full of new beginnings in the tight-knit community, a town brimming with old memories. Some memories were good, like the first kiss she'd had in the 9th grade. Some were bad, like the argument she'd had with her mother after high school graduation. There were other memories still, some she didn't like to think about. As her thoughts returned to the present, Penelope peered into the rearview mirror and smiled. Sadie was fast asleep in her car seat, her head tipped to the side. Her arms were wrapped around a stuffed pink koala, a gift from her grandmother. Staring at her daughter now, Penelope noticed how peaceful and content she seemed, a lot more content than the child had been in a long time. Turning down the street toward home, Penelope rolled to a stop in front of one of the smaller homes on the street. It was the first place she'd ever lived on her own. At 27 years old, it felt good to stand on her own 2 feet, providing a life for her and her daughter. Penelope opened the driver's side door, and Sadie...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?